Mr. Matheson, were your member utilities in the room for these secret negotiations to dismantle the Snake River dams?
Not when the negotiations mattered. Look at the front end, there were some listening sessions, I get it, and taking information, but for the final several months, no. It was reduced to 4 tribes and 2 states. There's 8 states served by BPA, by the way. So I'm talking about electric utilities, I'm not here representing states, but there were 6 states that weren't in the room, nor were electric utilities.
You're concerned that the co-ops won't have access to reliable power going forward?
I'm here to talk about reliability, and I think in an area where there is growing demand for electricity, data centers, we're electrifying the economy with electric vehicles, with heat pumps. We need more electricity in this country, including the Pacific Northwest. Removing a always available, dispatchable resource at the value of the lower Snake River dams would be a big mistake.
So as a former member, I ask you this question I asked earlier. Why wasn't FERC in the room?
I can't answer for why people weren't or were not invited. I think that FERC has a level of expertise that's helpful in terms of understanding system grid reliability in this country.
Have you ever seen anything like this, such a small group of people making decisions that impact an economy in a region like this?
Well, this is a big one. This is a big impact because it's such a significant part of this economy. So it's, as I say, this is not a new issue. And everyone on both sides have mentioned this is a complicated issue. I stipulate to that. And I think that there's room for a lot of conversation, but this is not the way to make this decision, to put us on a path where, in my opinion, as I said in my opening statement, it may not say breaching because Congress has to do it, but it's pushing everything in the direction of putting Congress in a position to do it by devaluing these assets.
Yeah. Does the intermittency of renewables concern you and baseload generation?
I think that renewables can be part of a portfolio, but they do not have the capacity of what these lower Snake River dams do in terms of always being available, being able to ramp up and down 24/7. And my example from 2 weeks ago illustrates that.
Yeah, you said something in your opening. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, it's in your written statement. The intermittency of renewables creates inescapable challenges for the electric grid, and they cannot always replace always available LSRD hydropower. To your point,
right.
Important stakeholders were left out of negotiations, which sets dangerous precedent. Not a single person with the responsibility to keep the lights on was in the room when this deal was cut. So thank you for that. That's in his written testimony. I'll turn to Mr. Amanu. Pacific Northwest relies on inland ports to move grain and other products to market. What would happen to the region if the Biden administration removes the lower Snake River dams?
Those businesses, farmers, companies that I mentioned in my testimony would simply go out of business. It'd be devastating to communities surrounding the region and beyond.
Is it feasible to put that much cargo, grain and whatnot on trucks and trains?
It's not physically possible.
I would say the carbon footprint of those trucks and trains is a heck of a lot more than what's being produced, almost zero at the hydroelectric projects.
Yes, sir. And one 4-barge tow, one tugboat moving 4 barges is the equivalent of about 538 truckloads of cargo moving up and down through the Columbia River Gorge scenic area.
What's going to happen to commodity prices?
Skyrocket.
They're going to skyrocket. Ms. Chumrall, were farmers part of the secret negotiations with CEQ?
Excuse me. Thank you for the question. Our organization was not involved. I think Mr. Manu can talk a little bit more about that, but we were not involved in the few instances that we did have the opportunity through the listening sessions. We did take part in that, but they were far and few between.
I would say family farms are a big part of Washington State and other Pacific Northwest farming community. What's going to happen to the family farms?
Absolutely. In fact, 96% of our farms are family farms, and these are the people that are going to be affected the most. They do not get to set their prices, and any change to our transportation system would directly affect them.
Yeah. I want to thank y'all's comments, and thank you for your comments and perspective. This is the Energy Subcommittee. I'm focused on energy. I'm concerned about reliability, affordability in years forward. I'm concerned about the intermittency of renewables. We like renewables. I don't know anyone on our side of the aisle that doesn't. There ought to be a part of the mix. There are going to be a part of the mix, but we know what provides that 24/7, 365 baseload power generation. Hydroelectric projects provide a significant portion of that nationwide, but definitely in the Pacific Northwest.